they're too much of like a homer. You guys are homers. Like I don't think you see
We're Bill fans.
objectively.
What
at
the?
all, man.
We're
You guys
Bills
are-
fans. We're not fair
but
weather.
you're-
We're full weather.
That's right. We're Bills fans. We're diehard Mafia, baby.
Well-
You're just a turncoat,
well,
Chucky. You like Chucky runs away
but
at the
if-
first sign of teams getting a little
You
weak
can
in the
wear
knees.
that
He's
number
gone.
17, but you don't think
Running
like
running with
Yeah,
his
but if
tail
you guys are
tucked
gonna,
under his
if
skirt.
you guys are gonna take this seriously and be a real fucking sports podcast, you gotta look at the game objectively, man. Because 31-7 every week.
31 to
I
17.
said 24-17, man. If Tommy's
No, I
a little
don't usually
eccentric,
say.
that's fun, man. The point is to have fun, Chucky.
Well, you guys
I'm
aren't
not
objective though. You've never picked them to lose, and you probably
Well,
never
no.
will, man. That's just
No, why should I?
Yeah, you want me to pick him to lose?
Because I'm not a genius. I'm not a genius.
Then why don't you pick him to lose, Chuck?
no. I want you to
Why
be
would I?
objective, man.
I don't know how I'm not, man. I've said everything that I've said has been about how much you think we're going to struggle against the defense. Now I said I do think Allen tries to put on a bit of a show because he did so poorly last week. That's not just a homer statement. That's because he's Josh Allen, and I think he's pissed off
guys
that he
have
played
never
like
picked-
shit last week.
You guys have never picked this team to lose. You guys have never predicted that they would lose.
You didn't
That's a
just predict
homer
him to lose,
mentality.
did you? How are you not doing homer shit right now?
I said it's going to come down to a coin flip.
You said 2017 Buffalo.
Yeah, and I said.
So put your coin
it's
put your
likely gonna
coin up
come
your
down to-
ass. Put your coin where it belongs
Okay.
and flip it to the
I'm
other
gonna
side.
wait.
If you're gonna tell me,
As soon as you come out here for my wedding, dude, I'm gonna freaking wait till you fall asleep.
Hey,
I'm
speaking
gonna take
about
a shit
weddings,
right on your face.
speaking about weddings,
Hey, listen, a great example, right, of when your number's called being ready.
DFL Football 25.
ow! All right, happy game day, Bills Mafia. Let's go. Happy Monday Night Football game day. It's Monday night. Well, it's Monday afternoon. Getting this pod up. I hope that this gives I get it up in time to give a few people time to listen to it. Before the game starts. 8 o'clock. It's already 5. So I gotta hurry up here. And so I'm just gonna let it get right into it. And go ahead and play with me, Chucky, the doubting Thomas, and listen to us discuss the game, what we feel might happen, what to look out for. Just give a couple of give our 2 cents in the way that only we can. Welcome DFL episode 6, Monday Night Football, Bills, Jets, division in the Meadowlands tonight, 8:30, something like that, 8:15. Let's go, get into it. Doubting Thomas, where are you? You nervous tonight, there, Tommy?
actually, not as nervous as you think. I kind of have a feeling that they're going to go back to the way they started the season. In other words, they're going to use the run more, and they're going to pass the ball around more. And Allen is not going to be trying to force the long ball and stuff like that. He's going to do what he did in the first few games. Use that underneath, mediocre, and let them, get the yards after the catch. All right?
Right.
And be more reliant on the running game.
What about though Cook?
and-
Cook, I mean, I believe his agent said he's going to play tonight, but we don't. He's still listed as questionable as of Monday morning, I believe. So if they say too, if he's used, maybe he'll be used a little bit more in the passing game, so he can kind of get out first without messing with his toe too much, instead of powering off of it in the run, and then we utilize Davis and Ty Johnson in the backfield for that run. Is that what you see happening more of? What do you think first though about come on, man, Saleh being fired and the coaching bump? I mean, is that anything in play in anything? Do you think I don't think that they're hurt by the coaching move, but do you think it gives them motivate? Does it galvanize the team and give them some motivation, man?
I think that as far as that goes in New York, when whenever a coach is fired and replaced, by the intern and stuff, the team usually tries to step it up so they look good for this guy, especially the first week. Whoever it is that takes over, they try to step up their game, all right? Well, the thing is, in New York, they put their defensive coordinator in as the head coach, right?
Yeah,
so
Albert.
The defense is still going to play the way they've been playing. And, they're not going to alter that, really.
Right.
And, but can the guy that's taking over as offensive coordinator, are him and Rodgers, really in sync?
This is basically Rodgers' team, though, man. And right, but then also I wonder, with Albrecht, taking over head coaching duties, is he's not going to be, when the defense comes off the field, he's not going over there pumping them up and telling them making adjustments and stuff. He's got to be focused on head coaching duties, so the defense might be a little bit different. And Tremaine Johnson, I think Tremaine Johnson and Hassan Reddick, neither one of them are playing on that side. So
yeah, so I'm talking about Buffalo getting back to the way they were from the second half of the Arizona game, all of the Miami game, and all of the Jacksonville game.
Well, of course, yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing is, if you look at that from the second half of the Arizona game, Buffalo was more like, okay, they were really going with the run, and Allen wasn't trying to throw for the big score on every play. He wasn't feeling like he was the one carrying the team. It was being spread around. He was working with everybody, and it was all working. It was all coming together. And then it came together a lot against Miami, and it showed even more against Jacksonville. But when they ended up in Baltimore,
playing a better
Baltimore
defense.
Jumped out to the big lead. They jumped out to that big lead, and did you hear Julian Edelman?
Yeah.
Did you hear him?
Yeah.
Because he's saying Buffalo doesn't need another Stephon Diggs. He said they don't need that. He goes, what they need is to go back to the way they were in their first 3 games. He says, but what happens, he goes, and I know it.
Yeah.
He goes, once they fell behind, the offensive coordinator
panic.
Kind of
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, and they put more pressure on Allen. And if you look at it, Buffalo was coming back on Baltimore until that one play, the trick play, whatever. Okay? And Baltimore went and scored, and we just didn't get the momentum back.
Right.
We were coming back, and we did come back against Houston.
Yeah, that trick play was probably a panic call type of thing that Edelman was talking about.
But the thing is, we abandoned the run against Houston.
Yeah.
And we should have stayed with it.
Definitely.
That thing we probably would have won that game.
Very possible.
So, very possible. At least we would tie and then go to the
Especially the way Allen was
know?
playing that game. The way Allen was playing last week was terrible. And the quarterbacks have bad games, and it's fine when you're a monster number 2, 3 quarterback in the entire league. You're entitled to have a bad game once in a while. But so you lean into the run. You don't try and force low percentage throws down the field. For no reason. But yeah. That's definitely a sign of panicking. I can hear it. So if you think it's mostly a matter of that, I think that Edelman's right, and he played on a team that didn't really have a bunch of number ones all the time. They had Tom Brady, and they figured it out.
Right.
But I still think that I think that was an argument against the idea of picking up Adams or going after someone like that. And I can't say that he's incorrect. I mean, he's I'm sure he's right. He would know better than I do or any of us that of a coordinator panicking. But I think that number 1, 2 could also help the team. I'm not against a move for someone like Adams or something like that. I'm not pressing the issue going, that's what we need to do. I think we can figure it out without taking that move. And if the organization is comfortable with that and don't want to spend the money, and they would know, Brandon Beane before he was GM, he handled strictly nothing but salary cap issues and all that. So I trust he knows what he's doing when it comes to all that. So if we can't do it, I'm not panicking. If we can, I still think it'd be great.
Yeah. Well, it would. I'm not saying it wouldn't help to have a guy like Adams. I'm not saying that. I mean, yeah, there would be a plus on one end, but other than pointing out, the thing is, why make Allen go back to like, I gotta get this guy the ball. I gotta target him at least 10, 12 times a game. When if they go back to the way they were spreading out, let the guys make the play afterwards. All right, and doing that the way they were in the first 3 games, I think it's much more relaxed. They're relaxed and they play a lot better.
I hear you. Definitely. I agree with that 100%. But I only thing I would say is like not every number one that comes into a team is a drama queen or a demanding the ball like that, a diva. Or whatever you want to say. I'm not seeing even that drastic. But, of course, it does put pressure on Allen to get the new number one the ball. I understand. But if the guy's out there giving him reasons to feed him the ball, such as, actually creating a good separation and getting open, down the field, that also makes Allen's job easier,
Right. Like Shamir does.
Shakir, is he playing tonight, man? He's 50-50.
Yeah, right. He might be. So, and I mean, and this is the whole thing. He doesn't have to always hit him long, because he's really good after the catch.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Oh, there he is,
dickhead.
He fell out of the well.
Hey, man, I'm still pissed off about the Chiefs losing yesterday. Your ass is gonna get roasted, Will. Just wait.
Yeah, right.
I'm pissed, man.
Hey.
Couldn't even sleep last night, Tommy.
That was a good game, man. And
Tommy, how you doing, man? Where's your phone?
Hey, Chuck, listen. I wanted to mention last night, and I didn't because I didn't want to piss you off further.
To your dad.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. Hold on a second. I didn't want to piss you off further last night, but I was going to comment at the end of the Sunday night game. I'm like, boy, that's a familiar score. It was 17-7.
Oh. Hey, why is Tom, why is your screen black?
Because he put his phone in his wife's purse.
I didn't put it in her purse.
No. Here's the real story. He went to the store with her purse, put his phone in it, and forgot that he put his phone in it. You know what I mean? They probably share her purse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very possible he was trying on his Sunday dress and here, hold this for me real quick.
Here's another theory. Sharon took Tommy's purse on accident.
That's very possible.
All right. But anyway, yeah, that's what I think that's exactly what they have to do, is what we were talking about, and that's going back to the way they were playing. Go use the run more, and dink and dunk your way down the field. They don't have to go for a long bomb. They don't need that. When it opens up, and it will open up. If you're throwing 10, 12, 15-yard passes, the defense is going to draw in. Eventually, they have to, because they want to stop it, right? Mm-hmm. So they start drawing in. And when they draw in, they're good enough, Allen's good enough to recognize that. He'll call the play to get the guy over top.
Right. Well, dinking and dunking over Quincy Williams is one thing too. Yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
Well, you know what I've been hearing, man, all week, Tommy, to your point, is that Allen didn't take what was there with the Houston game. He was trying to go for the big plays when they were open, dump off passes, or just like he wasn't taking what they were giving him, like there were receivers open. He was trying to go for the big play, maybe because of the Diggs drama, and he wanted to really win that breakup, or you know what I mean. That's what it was looking like, man.
Yeah. I think in one aspect you're absolutely right. I think in his mind, he's thinking, I'll show this little trick. I can get it to anybody, you know? And it made his receivers look bad. And made the whole damn team look bad in the first half.
Yeah, Allen played like shit, man. He knows.
Right.
Does he get back? Does he get back to who he was in prime time tonight? Prime time Allen, man. But it is the Jets too. It was prime time last year, Monday night Jets in the Meadowlands.
I just heard like a stat that the Jets and the Giants combined since 2019 in night games are like 4 for 21 or like 4 for 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers kind of adds something to that, though. You know what I mean? Like whether he could be, you know, old Aaron Rodgers or old Aaron Rodgers, you know.
Yeah. The only thing I've been concerned mostly about was injuries, but I think stopping the Jets' offense is not necessarily going to be the most difficult task. They've been kind of all over the place. Now, I do think we see a bit of a galvanized team from the coaching bump, but defense is still what I would worry most about, especially because with Ulbrich taking over as head coach, he can't do what he needs to do between plays and all that with the defense. He's focused on those duties. So the defense knows that they got to kind of be there to come together and say, we got you, coach, you know? So I think, and their defense is what, number 2 overall right now?
The Jets defense being the way they are, you know? And I mean, and now their leader is their leader, you know? So no, they're gonna want the whole nation to see that we're not giving up on this guy. This guy is the reason we're here. So they're gonna be playing harder, you know? And they're a tough defense to beat. Not like the video game.
But what about like I mentioned earlier though, that, you know, like Hassan Reddick and Tremaine Johnson are out, you know? Does that does that help with the run? It should, and it should help give Allen time, right?
Yeah, it should. But you know, they're also going to be like the old cliche, next man up.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not going to let whoever steps in for them. They're going to be basically trying to make them look good too. You know, because they don't want anybody to fall on their face. They don't want to lose. They understand if they win tonight, that they own the East.
Well, they'll be in first place, right? The game's got a lot at stake too for it, man. The team that loses is going 3 losses in a row, man. Neither team wants to do that. I mean, I think the Bills have some motivation, and I think there's also more pressure now on the Jets too, especially with the coaching change. You know, so do the Jets handle the pressure? Do they, mount up? What do you think? You know,
I think the pressure's more on Rodgers. Because I don't care what he says, everybody knows he's the one that got him fired.
Yeah, but I don't worry about Rodgers being under pressure, really. He's 40 years old. He's been under pressure before. He won a Super Bowl. I'm not too concerned about his, I think he can handle pressure. I worry about the rest. I want to know if the defense and the rest of the team can step up and handle it,
True, he does. But can he get the rest of the team to step up with him? This is the whole thing.
That's what I'm asking you. Yeah, I'm asking your opinion. What you think if the rest of the team will, if they can,
Right. I don't know if they will.
If they're going to. Come on, Doubting Thomas. What do you think? What do you doubt? Do you doubt the defense steps up on the Jets side or they don't have to step up? The Bills offense steps up against that defense, or that defense, kind of caves a little bit under the pressure?
No, I think the Jets defense is going to be the Jets defense. I don't think that's going to alter. I think where the difference is going to be is with Rodgers running the offense. Because basically, it's going to be him calling the shots on the offense.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
and he doesn't have the elite receivers and stuff. He really doesn't. I mean, like the one guy.
He's got Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson. They're pretty good, man.
Well, they're pretty good. Yeah. So we have pretty good receivers too. But is pretty good going to be enough?
So what's the question here, man? Is that what should they attack? Is that what the question is?
Yeah, listen, I'm not a professional interviewer. I don't really have exactly what to ask you. I was talking about the defense, man. Are you worried that with the coaching change and all of that, are you worried that, the Jets do you think they might fold under that pressure a little bit because they have more pressure on them to win this game? Or do you think it kind of galvanizes the team and they, what do you think? Are you worried about that? Go ahead.
Well, so it's called the mid-season, coach bump, right?
Yeah.
Where they switch coach it. Yeah, I guess like the stats behind that is that teams are like 16 and 13 when that happens. So it actually does. It shows that, it works. Will it work tonight? I don't know, because I think there's even like another layer to this, because they demoted Nathaniel Hackett from the play calling duties, right? So that's Rodgers' boy, like that's his guy. Yeah, I wonder if they. Well, I don't wonder. I'm almost 100% sure that if he wasn't such good friends with Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett would probably be fired too. But this guy Todd Downing, that he's going to be calling plays. He was the Bills quarterbacks coach back in 2014. So that's EJ's first year, right?
Yeah, Todd
So
Downing.
he was so he used to be a Bills coach, man.
Right.
He spent some time in Oakland though. I think he really helped Derek Carr become a pretty decent, good quarterback. Helped him make the Pro Bowl.
How much play calling experience does he have?
I think just with the Titans, man, in 2021 is when he became the actual coordinator. So 2021 to 2023, I'm pretty sure. But he was fired from the Titans in 2023. But I don't think their offense was very good.
No, and that would be a
23.
totally different style of offense than he would have to call from the Jets too. I mean, who did the Titans have in 2023?
They were ranked 30th overall in offense when he was the play caller there, and then the Jets hired him in 2023 just as like a passing game coordinator. But yeah, that should be interesting, man. I don't know. I think there might be a boost in energy, but I'm gonna predict that it's gonna be disorganized, man. Switching play callers mid-season, that can't be a good recipe for success, man.
Typically, you wouldn't think so, right? The team does feel like they have something to prove, though. So, and they are at home, so they got that going in their favor.
I agree with Charlie on that point that they're probably not going to be as in sync as you think, And you also have to remember, Rodgers has that friggin' ego problem, man.
Yeah.
And I think that might be their biggest problem, is his ego, because he thinks that. Did you ever see the looks he gives people, like if the pass isn't on? He never makes it look like it was his fucking fault.
Right.
That maybe he overthrew or underthrew somebody. He never makes it look that way.
No.
It's always their fault,
Yeah.
And I think that could get in the way, because he's going to have to really make up for what he caused. He caused the head coach to get thrown out, and he caused for his friend to get demoted.
Yeah.
How's he going to make up for all this shit? That'll be interesting to watch.
Do you think he's going to be under pressure and we're going to destroy him?
Well, Buffalo's defense gets him on the run and stuff. Yeah, he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's not going to scramble his way out of everything. These guys can catch up to him. And Buffalo has some good pass rushers.
Yeah.
Even with Oliver out. But Oliver was more for plugging the center for the running game. But if he gets through there, yeah, he was sacking the quarterback.
Yeah, what's the word on Austin Johnson? Because he's filling that role, right? And he wasn't he hurt?
Right. And he's doing a good job.
Is Dwayne Carter playing?
He's questionable.
Yeah, questionable. Yeah.
Austin Johnson's questionable.
Right. Yeah. So that.
Yeah, Ed Oliver, man, I'm pretty worried about, man. Like hamstring injuries sometimes they can last the whole season, man. He's one of our.
Yeah.
If he's not the best player on our defense, he's one of them.
Oh yeah, he was the heart. He was the heart of
Right.
that defense, I think.
It's either him or Bernard or Benford or Douglas.
Tehran's expected to play, and he's one of the top players on our defense.
So I'm not real worried about our defense, and I know they kind of looked easy to roll over and stuff in the beginning of the Baltimore game. But in the second half, they shut them down. Our defense can step up. They've proven it. I mean, you come back from a 20-something deficit, and you come back and you tie the game or damn near win the game 2 weeks in a row. They did it against Houston, and they did it against Baltimore. That's showing me that defense still has heart. You know?
Oh, our defense is
so,
fine, man.
hey,
Our defense is always
hey,
going to contend
hey.
under McDermott. You think the Bills receivers are going to step up tonight?
I think so.
Where are you getting that from, though, man? Because like right now, nothing shows that like they have any real ability to take a game over, man. Sure, the Jags, right? But look what happened to the Jags yesterday against the Bears, man. I mean, the Bears could be good, but the Bears beat the snot out of them, man. I don't know. I don't share your optimism about the receiving core, man. Obviously, I mean, we argued about this last week. I don't know.
It's see, because you have no faith in second and third string receivers. That's your problem. You put all your stock into one guy. I mean,
Are you? Well, hold on, man. Are you owning up to that? They are all second receivers or third. You know, name one of them that's a number one receiver. Maybe you could argue like that Shakir is like a number one receiver, like in the lowest tier of the league.
I think he could
But
develop.
I think he's the only. I think maybe. But I think he's only he's only a number one receiver because he's like probably the best receiver we have. But again, man, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but put him on any other team, man. And he's definitely not the best receiver. He's probably not even number two.
He's training with Eric Moses.
I think if Curtis Samuel was healthy, he could definitely be a number one. You know, I mean, you think Samuel's washed up?
I think Tommy has a point there, Chuck. I mean, Samuel should be, and I think he was expecting
Tommy,
to kind of take that role, but he hasn't yet.
Yeah. No, I actually agree. I agree with you on that one, Tommy. I think that if he wasn't injured, maybe he has potential to be a number one. But yeah, we don't know yet, man. He could be on the tail end of his. Well, definitely the tail end of his prime.
Well, yeah, you know, well, he's getting older. You know, that's why they say that straight out swap just about for Diggs. You know, not a swap, but they gave Diggs and took Samuel because they figured they both had the same kind of talent. They both have, you know, the same moves and all that kind of stuff. The only thing is that Samuel injured. I mean, I don't know if he's going to last more than 2 years because he's getting older, man. He's going to be 35 in 2 years.
Well, just to kind of wrap this up, man. I don't know if you guys are angry, but I'm angry at Brandon Beane for the receiving core that he put together, man. It's not anywhere near what it should be, man. It's kind of like, are you guys mad? I'm mad.
No,
I'm not mad at him.
You're not.
I'm not mad at him because I don't think he anticipated what turned out.
Well, here's what I'm mad about, man. Here's why I'm mad. This is Josh Allen. What, he's 27 or 28. This is the prime of his prime, and we're wasting it, man, on a core of receivers that they're just not good enough, man. And it makes me angry. This is like, again, like people say our Super Bowl window is closing, man. It probably is. But like,
he always knew that Hollis was, you know, he's basically kind of like he's a slot receiver, but that's a slot receiver.
Man. He's a special team player.
He was a slot receiver with the Raiders. And that's why he grabbed him. And he had a good record with the Raiders. He was, you know, but again, the slot receiver is like what? One step above your tight end. They're good for 10, 15, 20 yards, you know, and that's what he isn't meant to run a 35 streak pattern. You know, he doesn't have the speed, you know, for one thing. You know, I mean, and if the ball is in his hands, he should catch it. He has good hands, but he's your short guy. He was like a Beasley, you know. He was really good on the short pass, and then he took off. He had the moves to gain yards, and that's what he had.
Right.
And that's what they wanted to get away from, and they were going with the running game.
Right.
You know, come on, they were featuring Cook. They're trying to take the pressure off of Allen. They don't want him to do as much.
Right. That's why I can't be mad at Bean, because we spent the majority of like the early half of Allen's, prime here, as it was building up, giving him deep threats. I mean, we always bring it in with John Brown. Always had Gabe Davis was supposed to be downfield threats. You had Stephon Diggs for 4 years. So I think it's, now it's kind of shifted to more of a, well, let's get it so he doesn't have to constantly, we're trying to work a different way, play in the middle of the field more, playing more yards after catch, give him more help faster to also protect him too, so he gets the ball out faster. He stops taking as many hits as he's getting older and older. So,
look what happened to Dallas when you're speaking of having that big player. Right now, Dallas has two main players, Prescott and Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
But you take Lamb out of the equation, they give him double coverage or whatever, and all of a sudden Dallas has nothing. They have nothing. Not a running game. They don't have shit.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Dallas is a mess. Yeah.
And not to take anything away from Detroit, 47 points up against them.
Yeah.
They don't have a defense. So like, and if that's what you want to give Buffalo, you want to give Buffalo Josh Allen and CeeDee Lamb and nothing else.
Right. Yeah, that's the trade-off there, right? So go on with let's talk about the game specifically tonight, man, and what you expect, and give a prediction or whatever, man. Come on.
I think it's going to be a defensive matchup, man. I really hope James Cook plays, and I really hope that he is, close to 100%.
It's going to be defensive to a point, But I'm serious. I really think Buffalo's going to do what they always do. They're going to wake up, and they're going to come back, and I believe they're going to win tonight. I think they're going to believe convincingly, and they're going to take all those minds that right now are saying they're losing it, and say, well, wait a minute, maybe they're really not losing it. Maybe they just had to recollect. Get back on track.
It's going to be a rainy day, man. It's going to be mostly running the ball in defense, man. And it's the Jets, man. Allen doesn't play well against the Jets, so I wish I was as optimistic as you are, man. But I'm worried because they can run the ball, man. The Jets have one of the best defenses in the league, man. And our offense is struggling right now. I don't know if you watched the last couple weeks.
Yeah, man, our offense has struggled the past 2 weeks, but we're playing one of the best defenses in the league, man. I think it's going to be a tight game, man. And honestly, I think it comes down to a coin flip.
Really? I do think you're correct. It's going to be close, but I actually think because Allen generally struggles against the Jets, and he played probably without an interception, one of his worst games ever last week. He was awful. So I think he wants to I don't want to say the words to get right, because that always implies that the team we're playing against is an easy win. And obviously we know the Jets defense is never easy, and especially for Allen. And they do have a couple key guys out though, with Hassan Reddick and Tremaine Johnson out. And I think Josh just kind of, I'm not going to say lights it up or anything, because it probably is rainy, kind of going to be a drag-out, run-heavy game. But I think Allen plays well for whatever it is. You're talking maybe 200 yards if he's throwing that much. And I say Bills, I'm not afraid to say it, you couple of sissies. I'll go with 24-17 Buffalo.
Yeah, I'll say 20-17 Bills.
All right. Tom is just going to doubt anyone can beat them. Is that what we're going to get from you, man? What do you got?
Yeah, I know you're giving me all this stuff and about the great defense and everything that they have. But
well, the weather tonight too and stuff, man. I think it's raining right now, and we're not that far.
I believe 27 is the most points anybody's put up against the Bills defense this season, and that was Baltimore. I believe 27. Houston put up 23, and the other teams before that didn't get past 17. And so I'm saying that Buffalo plays relaxed. Allen starts spreading the ball around. They start doing their game the way they did in the beginning. And you guys are going to think I'm crazy. But Doubting Thomas says, I doubt anybody can keep Buffalo under 30 points. 31-17.
Wow.
Buffalo.
Wow. Going into the 30s on a rainy night in the Meadowlands against the defense, number 2 defense in the league. That's a bold prediction. I like it. That's a bold prediction.
Buffalo's defense, they're a lot tougher than you give them credit for. I give Allen, Brady, and his ragtag receiving core more credit than you guys do. And Cook, I think, is going to have a fairly good night if he plays. I think he'll be,
One thing on Tom Downing again, man. He got a DUI in 2022, man. I wonder if we could ask him if he wants to join the DFL, man.
Who is this guy?
Well, I suppose Chucky Calzones has a point there. The DFL initially does stand for the Drunken Football League. It did have some rough days in its history. But let's hope that those days are well behind us, particularly for the Buffalo Bills tonight against the Jets, folks. It's been a struggle throughout Allen's career with them. Every great player has that team, that certain foe. Let's make sure that the Jets don't become Tom Brady's Eli Manning. Let's not let something like that happen. All right, I know there's some playing around there to put those things together. But look, I've been playing around long enough. This podcast has gone longer than it was planned to. So, look, watch the game. Get ready. It starts in about 2.5 hours from now, about probably an hour and a half from the time this podcast drops. So get it in. Listen to the takes, man. The only place where you can get good, solid Buffalo Bills football news. All right, it's not the only place, but hey, come on. If you're listening, like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to do things a little different here. We're going to start working in a little more comedy, I think. No, we'll see. We'll see how many people listen. Leave comments. What you might like about it, what you want to hear us talk more about. Shit like that. Come on, people. Let's go. Get your act together. Get ready for the game tonight. Get all your snacks and beers and booze and bullshit, all your stuff ready, and let's go. All right, people. I'll see you next week. Let's go, Bills!